We used to be a resource-based community. It was a pulp and paper town, and things have really changed here over the last 8 to 10 years. And we know we have a real responsibility, particularly because of where we're located, remote area of Northern Ontario, that we need to prepare our kids to go anywhere. They need every opportunity, and they deserve every opportunity to go and compete worldwide and be successful anywhere in the world.
So even though we're in Northern Ontario, a fairly small town in Thunder Bay, it's definitely at the same level as the bigger cities, that, catching up to what they're doing.
Their eyes are starting to open up a little more to things that are happening in the world. These are things that are going on right now.
Traditionally, the role of the teacher has been one of instructing, and the students have been one of receiving the information. But now with the technology at their fingertips, they can readily access any information at all. So what we have now is a situation where everyone is learning together and everyone is moving forward together.
That teachers and students take learning into a different direction. Students are directing more of their education.
We talk about co-learning with them. They could experience an app on a parent's iPhone, and it might support something we're doing in math or social studies or science, and they could relay that to me. And I think that's very important, so then they feel a little bit of ownership over the learning, and then I think the students feel pretty proud of that it's one of their suggestions that we're now bringing into the classroom. I think that's very important.
The learning that's happening with the oral communication that's taking place between the children, and the integration of the subjects, being able to integrate so many different subjects in it, to be able to share their knowledge in a new and exciting way. It's just so easy for them now to be able to do things more easily,
efficiently too,
and more efficiently, using their time more effectively for what the real learning goal is.
I appreciate the school bringing the laptops here, so just the chance that I don't have that at home and I get to do it here is like, I get excited to do it, and I just like, what's our next project? Like, I just want to make another one.
Since we've been doing all this poetry and the performances and using all the laptops and iPads, we started to like it, so we kept on doing it.
We used GarageBand and we added our voice in there with special effects. It made a big difference because you could totally understand like what we were trying to enhance and what we were trying to get our audience to know what we meant.
I could have done it the normal way, but using technology was better because on paper, just writing, you can't really show pictures of what you're really talking about, and on laptops it's just so much faster, and you could just put pictures in and just show what you're really talking about, and you don't have to be like afraid to do it. You could just put yourself into it.
Whenever they hand their work in, it's always like they take it probably 5 steps further than they should. So that just goes to show the engagement that the kids have. They go above and beyond.
So it makes it a lot more interesting for the students, and it keeps it interesting for the teachers as well, because we're constantly coming up with new ideas and collaborating and saying, oh, we could try this, or why don't you do this with it? And it makes it more interesting and exciting for everybody, I think.
The technologies are completely essential to my teaching. I wouldn't be able to differentiate how I do now my instruction to meet every single need of my students within the classroom.
Our kids that are special are now learning in the same fashion as kids who are maybe don't have learning difficulties. We are not isolating children anymore. We are integrating every learning style and every learning need within a classroom. It's equity.
We need the iPads in our school, and it gives Sam to be like everyone else, right, Sam? You get to have an iPad like everyone else has in class, and she's able to go and communicate with everybody. It has brought joy to everyone here and her family, To be able to have a voice is huge. And she communicates to all the teachers here. It's been great. It's life-changing. And you enjoy it, don't you? And she's also gone from her iPad to your iPod. So she walks around the school and she takes her voice with her, so she's able to communicate.
Thank you, Apple, for making iPads and iPods, because it gives me a voice to be able to share my day with my family and tell them how much I love them.
Mobile technology, it's essential. They have it with them all the time. We want to make sure that they're learning in that environment, because they need to be able to access the technology, and they do. They have it right there. They take that learning with them, and it doesn't just stop in the classroom. They take the skills that they're learning with the mobile technology.
You could take your learning outside of the classroom to events or wherever you're out to go, and you could just be learning all the time.
They are able to actually go online at home and chat back and forth with their partner that they're studying with right now. So it keeps the discussion going past 3:25.
The time goes by so fast because you're just like, you're on it and you're just having fun. And it's like, you look at the clock and you're like, oh, there's 5 minutes left. And you just don't want it to end.
I find my discussion goes well beyond 3:25 as well, so it just helps me stay interconnected with them for greater periods of time.
We need to change. To stay in one spot is counterproductive for our kids.
It certainly makes my job easier. It makes the students more engaged. They're learning things at a much quicker rate than they had using the traditional methods. On the iPad or iPod, they're actually all working at their own pace based on their needs.
So in such a short amount of time, it's incredible how much growth there's been. All of a sudden, the whole class knows how to do it, and they're teaching each other, and they're working with each other, and it's impressive. Like I personally wouldn't have known that could have happened. It has changed the way my classroom runs, for sure.
We're a community of learners, collaborating both with student to student, student to teacher, teacher to student, vice versa. So I'm very happy. I think it's made running a school easier.
We spend a lot of money on a lot of different things, and you know, when you first approach people about a new idea, they say, well, we can't do without this, we can't do without that, we can't do without. I say take a chance and try to do it differently, and I think if people do something that's similar to what we're doing, they're going to find that a lot of the things they've done in the past and we're spending money on, they don't have to spend money on. So we found all kinds of opportunities in software savings, we don't need as many textbooks, all kinds of things as a result of what we're doing.
We're always pushing forward here. We're always looking for ways to make things better.
What we're trying to do is create a different educational experience, different kinds of classrooms, places where kids really want to come instead of, you know, dreading school.
We can't fail them, you know. It is our responsibility, our moral responsibility to get them there.
I struggled always to meet the needs of my students. I finally feel after 17 years that I'm successfully meeting the needs of every student in my classroom.
So it's not about the future. It's about right now. What are we going to do right now for these children?